All right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Second fight of the month. We're gonna do a fight every month. Lomachenko versus Ortiz. Another good fight to analyze, to rewatch, to appreciate. We'll be doing some live scoring and analysis, and just boxing talk outside and around the main events. Round one, good start so far. Ortiz is coming out to try and establish himself, right? I have no problem saying I'm a pretty big Lomachenko fan, but I try not to let that get in the way of my analysis and my scoring by any means. I call a spade a spade. I think Lopez had a great win over him. Enough of that, right? Let's get back to the fight. Good start, by Ortiz. Trying to show different shades of his game. Just good stuff all around. Speed, sharp fighters. Lomachenko, there's just so much to appreciate about how he fights. And I'll try to kind of go into more detail as the fight goes along. What I'm seeing right now from round one, I like how Ortiz started. I think it's going to be hard to, you're a fighter like Lomachenko. It's not that you have the judges in your pocket, but you're going to be seen. It's like star treatment in the NBA, right? Curry gets more calls than other players, right? It's kind of the same thing. In a close fight, in swing rounds, like that star power influences you, right? So, it's almost like Ortiz has to work just a little bit harder to impose himself, to show what he has. Lomachenko is just pure talent. Amazing IQ as a fighter. Great defense, an old school throwback type fighter, and I can go into that. What I mean by that. I think that can be taken a few different ways, but just a well-rounded guy, not a lot of weaknesses, a lot of heart, has the work ethic, has the talent, has the IQ. It's rare that you find all of that in one package. Still like what I see from Ortiz. He's bringing it. He's showing different looks. Don't get tunnel vision, excuse me. Mix it up, right? Go to the body. Go to the body, go to the head, go to the body, go to the head. So I'm going to give that first round to Ortiz. Close round, but I like how he started. I like how he's starting. A little bit more active. Tried to establish himself in the center of the ring. But a fairly close round, in my opinion. And here we see, Lomachenko doing what he does in many ways. He'll pressure you. He'll do it in shades, and it's not like he has two speeds, two gears, Lomachenko, he knows exactly what he's doing right now. Feeling him out, throw a few punches, always stay busy. He's a guy you can, punch with volume. That's important, right? Always put something in the bank. Constantly throw punches. Don't give the judges an opportunity to say, well, you were quiet for gaps. And you can see Lomachenko analyze him in real time. Try different things. How does he respond? How does he come after me? Even backing away from a fighter, right? To reestablish yourself in the ring is in and of itself a way to analyze the situation and to say, all right, well, let me see how you respond to this, right? It's like a bear charging at you in the woods. It may not really legitimately be trying to attack you, but it's just like, hey, man, I'm right here. Uh, Ortiz is a game guy. You know, he doesn't look intimidated. Um, I like the activity. You got to do a little bit more against Lomachenko. You can't be doing this all night because he's waiting to see. What do you do? Do you only do this? Do you put something behind it? Um, Rotate, reposition yourself. Again, Lomachenko's a patient fighter. You know, he's going to take his time. No rush, right? The punches you don't see coming are the ones that hurt the most, and that means you don't necessarily need to have power punches to really lay a guy out. You know, Lomachenko's a guy who throws crisp, fundamentally sound shots. You know, like the guy he can put you down. You know, with shots that aren't necessarily that powerful because we're talking about technique, speed, and he will hit you in ways that you don't see coming. He has the repertoire to do it. He's got the movement to do it. He's got the timing. Look at a few of these shots. You know, I don't know. I don't know about that. It's not an intentional rabbit punch by any means. I guess you can give him a hook for that, but it wasn't a super clean shot. Doesn't mean it doesn't affect Lomachenko. I'm going to give that round to Lomachenko. A little bit busier, maintain control of the center of the ring. It's a good fight all around. I like that too. Bounce on your toes in the corner. It's a mind game, you know. Even if you're tired, never let your opponent see that, you know. Let them think you've got 50 more rounds in you. I like that. Look at that. Look at that. I love when Lomachenko does this. When you don't move, right, and then your opponent reacts in any way and you immediately take that real estate, cut that ring off, and just like that nonverbal communication of I'm right here, I'm not going anywhere. See, I like what Ortiz is doing. Limited effectiveness, though. You got to keep them off you, right? You got to. There you go. There you go. Just double it up, triple it up, put a 2 behind it. The problem is a lot of these shots aren't landing. So while you may win a round or two this way, you're not really hurting your opponent. You're not frustrating your opponent, not Lomachenko. It may give him confidence. You may miss intentionally. You may be trying to do something, but that doesn't mean that those punches that are misses or setup punches, shoe shines. It doesn't mean that also isn't a double-edged sword, and that opponent's going to be like, oh, you know, if you're going to throw, you know, a shoe shine between every 2 you throw, then you know that's confidence too, right? I mean, even though he's not throwing with intention, out of 20 shots that land, only 10 actually do anything to you. I mean, that has to give you some confidence, right? It's not all about points. That's a good shot right there. Again, timing, right? Like Ortiz could keep his hands up a little bit more, but I don't like to criticize that too much. If that's your style and that's what you're comfortable with, I encourage it. Thought we lost the fight there. But it's levels, right? I mean, so I'm giving that round to Lomachenko, not entirely based on that one shot, but that shot's a microcosm of how it's going, right? I mean, it's a combination too. Followed it up, right? It's beautiful because it's the perfect shot, textbook, follows it up at just the right time. Again, even a fundamentally sound fighter, if you get caught flush, you may not literally be hurt, but you're gonna wobble, you're gonna lose a little bit of balance. Everybody takes from that. The judges take from that, you take from that, your corner takes from that, his corner, and your opponent takes from that too, right? Boxing is chess, you know. I may end up saying that a lot, but it's true. Look at the difference in landed percentage, right? I'm not someone who puts a lot of stock in CompuBox because it's not infallible, but I mean, globally, there are not a whole lot of fighters I'll put above Lomachenko. And it's confidence too. It's swagger. You know what I mean? It's like, look, Floyd used to do this as well all the time. Hang out within range. You know, in a range you're comfortable with. Taunt him, right? Toy with him if you have to. Psychologically break down your opponent. Also, though, understand it's not over till it's over. So that's one of the beauties of boxing, right? Fighter A can dominate the fight. Fighter B lands the one shot that ends it, right? You can be behind on all cards and win. What other sport does that happen in? See right there, that's a veteran trick, right? Wrap a guy up, land some shots, dig into the body. Doesn't even matter, like, even if they're not counting a lot of those shots, even if they break you up, you still put something in the bank. Now, one thing I love about Lomachenko, he's not a guy to really want to tie you up a whole lot, and I love that about a fighter. There's see look what Ortiz is doing right here. I like this. See, a game guy, you know, he understands, hey, look, I've been taking it for a round and a half. Let me show what I can do too. I'm gonna go out on my shield if I have to, right? You know, be slick. I love that. You know, it takes balls to do that. Win or lose, favorite or underdog, you're in the main event of a fight. I mean, enjoy it. Let's go, Ortiz. I want to see the dog in you. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Ortiz could probably throw a little bit more, but let's be honest, he could easily be getting countered for most of those shots too. So I don't. I like that combination right there. Put some speed into it, step into it. You're here to fight, dude. You're here to fight. Your mentality as a fighter has to be this. It doesn't matter who's across from you. You're coming to win, right? You're coming to show the world that he's just a man, right? I want to see that combination. Are they going to show it? Oh, that's a good shot. It's coming right here. Watch. Maybe not. This is the same punch. Such a beautiful textbook punch. A rare miss that I don't attribute to a slip. I'm also going to give that round to Lomachenko, but that is probably one of the closer rounds so far. Again, I'm going to start putting scoring on the screen eventually. I'll get there. Right now, we're just caveman style right now. Constantly stalking, right? Again, it can't be overstated what Lomachenko does so well. Look at this. Uh, a term I like to use is economical, right? Be economical with your movement, be economical with your punches. Not all the time, but know when it doesn't make sense to dance around too much. Know when it doesn't make sense to throw too many punches, especially ones that aren't really, don't have ill intention or don't have real purpose, right? Um, Ortiz doing what he can. I like his fight. Come after him, right? Come out. There you go. Shobo, come on. You're a fighter, right? Come on. Are you not entertained? I'm entertained. That's a good shot right there. Lomachenko's playing his game, right? He's like, look, you're gonna tie me up. We're gonna play this game. I'm right here with you. I get, I give as good as I take, right? Again, what am I looking for here, right? Ring generalship. I'm gonna say it every fight. Um, be in control, and if you can be in control in the center of the ring, be in control in the center of the ring. Uh, Dictate the fight, right? Um, Again, I don't have a lot of criticism for Ortiz. He's fighting a good fight. He's fighting his fight. Um, when he feels like he can, he lets his hands go. He looks a little tentative, if I'm being honest, just a little bit. Um, you're fighting a grand master of chess, though, right? Like, it's a ticking time bomb. You know what I mean? Like, you throw the same combination too many times and you're on the mat, right? Like, Lomachenko, he's digesting data right now. He's just like, look at that. Oh, I love that punch. Come back with the same hand when your opponent doesn't expect it to happen. But again, Ortiz is doing what he's supposed to do, right? Look at him. Look. See, now it's taking its toll on him, right? It's taking its toll on his face, right? And his body. But just beautiful. Beautiful boxing all around. Ortiz is doing what he can, right? He's trying to get out of spots. So sometimes he hangs around a little bit too long in the pocket. I don't know that that's going to work in his favor on the judges. It can. Um, I like that move right there. Throw, pivot, step back, step out, step in, into a punch, right? If you can pivot again. Uh, Good again, right? You don't need to go anywhere when you defend, right? It's a myth. Cover up, pivot, tighten, make reduce that profile. See, he's feeling it. He also probably knows he's behind. I just want Ortiz to throw a little bit more, just a little bit more. The bobbing and weave is not going to get you too many points. This is the problem, right? Use it in spots. Use it sparingly. Use it to say, look, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. No steps are going to be taken back until that bell rings. But you have to make something in there too. If Lomachenko's not going to throw, fill that space, right? Because he's throwing. He's not throwing as much right now as he was a round ago, maybe, but the feints, the posturing, but bring something behind it. Bring something behind it. Good, good, good. Well, both a little tired, maybe. Both still look really conditioned. You don't need to ask yourself, has Lomachenko been landing that straight? You can see it on Ortiz's face. See right here when Ortiz gets in the center of the ring, I just wish he'd try and hold on to it a little bit longer. He falls into this game of like trying to play Lomachenko's game. I feel a little bit too much. You don't have to follow him every single time, right? Especially if you think that this is your round, right? And it's a way of saying to the judges, look, I'm right here and he's moving away from me, right? Oh, what a shot. Again, razor close round. It's hard not to give it to Lomachenko. Why? This is evidence of why, right? He throws just a little bit more. When he throws, it's accurate. It's hurting his opponent. And when he can, he is in the center of the ring. He's trying to maintain control. At this point, Ortiz is more fighting his fight than the other way around. And they're both kind of playing each other's game now and kind of changing role of who's going to take the center of the ring, who's going to kind of lead the other person on, who's going to, play, look, I'm going to sit here and make you miss. However, Lomachenko is doing it a little bit more effectively. His shots just matter more. He's just doing a little bit more. So, again, Lomachenko, I'm going to give him that round as well. Now, again, I like what Ortiz is doing, but right there, I want that more. This is an interesting card. I don't agree with this. Oh, this is punches landed. Never mind. I thought that was a scorecard. Always a dangerous place to be. Always. A good fighter has you in the corner and he's throwing a 1-2 and then some, maybe. Because it's so natural for you to know that you're going to slip the first shot and then kind of either want to eat the second one or quickly roll the second one, but you're rarely, well, okay, I'll speak for myself, right? Rarely am I ready for the third, right? So, and you've got nowhere to go, right? He starts landing on you flush, cover up, pivot, throw a flurry move out of there, but you can be in trouble real fast. I like it. The combination before that to me was a get away from me combination, not a I'm going to hurt you combination. But it doesn't matter. He still needed to throw it. Good. A lot of these are coordinated movements too. Those of you who box know what he did right there. That comes second nature, right? A little head movement, pivot out, step out, right? You work on that stuff. You work on that stuff so that it comes out when you need it, right? Lomachenko is sometimes he's so impeccable sometimes, right? Like everything he does, nothing's random here. Nothing's random. Move forward, keep your hands up, always keep your stance, know your distance. Constantly change up your shots. Always take advantage of the situation. You're clinched, you're in, sneak something in. You're out, make sure that you walk away the better the exchange is. He gives you real estate, take the real estate. He moves away from you, cut him off, right? Busy, 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 busy. See right here, I don't know how much of this is feigning and posturing or how much is like Ortiz is actually tired and he's hoping he doesn't have to throw that shot fully, right? I mean, but it looks like he came in conditioned, so I think a lot of the fatigue is simply the punishment he's taken, right? And it's the simple fact that he's moving around. You got to move around. You come to move around. Even if your game plan isn't to move around the whole fight, you have to know that you're coming in. You need to come in conditioned to the point where you can fight his fight if you need to, right? You usually don't want to fight your opponent's fight, even if you can fight their fight, unless you're stylistically the same. Um, the reason that is because the judges will see that, right? And they take that as a negative point of yours, right? They'll be like, all right, well, if you're fighting his fight, you're not fighting yours, right? Is basically how people take that. So again, right, a trend, right? Close round, I had to give it to Lomachenko personally. Um, just doing a little bit more, a little bit more. Crack one open here. I like that. Counts or not, I like that. Sneak one in there. It's a boxing match, but it's also a fight. Ortiz definitely starting to look a little bit fatigued right now. I'm watching his feet. Just doesn't have the same pep in his step. Lomachenko's just looking a little bit crisper. Looks like his feet, his whole body's starting to weigh a little bit, you know. But he's still right there. He's still right there. Look at that. I love that, right? Push him off with your shoulder, land the body shot, put something behind it. Good combination. Score some points. I like that again. I like that again. If the ref jumps on you for that, let him jump on you for that. It's a fight. And if you know you're in there with a guy who is physically smaller than you, see, I like this. He's still trying to lead in. He's still trying to lean in, land those shots. But Lomachenko knows what he's doing, right? He comes, he closes the gap. He's like, all right, he threw a jab or two. I'm going to come back. I'm going to sneak in a few body shots, and we're even. I like that. I like that from Ortiz right there. I like that from Ortiz. Confidence. Confidence. Tell him I'm right here. I like that from Lomachenko, right? Come around, pivot out, and throw a quick flurry to the face. Ba, 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 ba. What are you doing? You're covering his vision. The problem is what Ortiz is doing right now, that's a little bit better if you're ahead, if you're really ahead. I don't think he's ahead on anybody's card right now. He isn't on mine. That's a good uppercut. Ortiz is smart enough to know that he doesn't win most of the time from long range or mid range, but when he's inside, he can catch Lomachenko when Lomachenko's moving out or when he's just rolling with the punches, and, you know, when he's there to trade. There he is. Usyk, however you're supposed to say it right. Big fan. I love technical boxers. I also love brawlers. You know, I have no agendas here. 100%. So another round I have to give to Lomachenko. I mean, again, he does just enough and he does it a little bit better. When he's in the center of the ring, he's more effective, he's more efficient, he's controlling the fight. And at this point, I really do see Ortiz kind of lagging just a little bit. Despite all that, I really like the fight he's fighting. And I don't know how much better he could really do given the circumstances. Yeah, I think he could probably let his hands go a little bit more. I think he could have done that the whole fight. But it's not always that simple, right? Your opponent is there. It matters that there's somebody else there that wants to hit you back. Right there, that's classic Lomachenko, you know? He's got the confidence in his reaction time and his chin. Move in low, right? Work from that level up. It's a good shot. I'm not liking this about Ortiz. It's a couple of times now, at least, probably 3, where Lomachenko throws a 1-2 as he moves forward, and Ortiz makes it out of the first shot, eats the second, moving straight back. I don't ever like to see that. What a shot. I was just about to compliment Ortiz on a great shot, and then I see Lomachenko come back with an even better one. That to me is a stay away too. I like Ortiz right now though. Like he's stepping in and out with Lomachenko. He's trying to fight his fight. Problem is he's just getting beat, right? I mean, he's outclassed. See, I like it, but do it for yourself right now. He's doing it. He's got to do it. He's saying, look, I know I'm still here, but you got to hear yourself say it almost, right? But again, judges aren't going to put points on a card for fancy footwork, right? I love it, but you got to bring the heat when you're going to showboat too, right? Showboat all day, but after that showboat, I want to see a combination. Before or after, right? I mean, it's got to be one or the other. Because again, I love it. They both look tired now to me. I love showboating. You need to land punches, though, especially if you're behind against the guy who can volume punch. That's a tough round for me, to be honest. That's a tough round for me. What a punch, though. I want to give Ortiz another round, because I gave him the second. I gave him the first. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Lomachenko landed like 3 good power punches in that round. Had him against the ropes most of the time. And then when Ortiz looked his best, he wasn't landing much, right? I mean, it's like, again, man, just I love showboating. Boxing is dancing. Boxing's also a fight, though. Throw something, right? Throw a little bit more, right? I'm not, hey, he's been throwing punches this fight. It's just like this last round. Like these are key moments here. You're tired. We're deep in the fight now. I can see Lomachenko. He's coming for the kill now. Look at him. Look at him. He's got a little bit more of a pep in his step. He's stepping a little bit faster into his opponent. He's got his hands out just a little bit more so we can, shorten that distance between, that glove and his opponent's head, I love it. I love it. But here's the crazy thing about this, right? Look at these shots. Here's the crazy thing about this. He's not doing a lot, right? That's the thing. That's the mark of a world-class fighter, right? What an uppercut. He's pressuring him. He's almost dominating him, but he's not with what? He's not doing a lot. What is he using? He's using a 1-2, basic slips, basic head movement. He's changing levels a few times. He's not doing a lot, right? He's not throwing a lot, right? Every now and then he throws the uppercut coming in, and I love it. He's doing very little right now, specifically right now, right? Last 45 seconds or so. That's an interesting exchange. I like how Ortiz went the other way, didn't do the typical thing. I'm just going to show you my back and gain time. He's like, let me spin out as fast as I can and give you a different look, almost falling into a southpaw stance, right? What a fight. That's such great boxing right there. Change levels, body and footwork, right? But repositioning and throwing off your opponent. And here we see Lomachenko's heart, right? Because again, he's a great defensive fighter, but I wouldn't. There are greater defensive fighters, right? But where I'm going at is like he doesn't need to. It's not defense first, right? He will throw caution to the wind when he needs to, so to speak. I almost never see him off balance and out of position, but I do see him disregard defense to land the key shots, and that's key. That's key because you can be a great defensive fighter and not want to take the risks, right? See, look at this again. Look at it's two different messages, right? Lomachenko's like, I'm right here and I'm still coming, and Ortiz is like, I'm right here, but it's more of a like, come get me, I'm right here, right? There's a saying, you got to beat the champ, right? And I think that applies even when it isn't a championship fight, right? What that means is it has to be decisive, right? See, I want more from Ortiz again. Come on, Ortiz. I want more than a jab. Give me more than a jab. You're not going to win this fight throwing a jab and pivoting all night. Again, good punches. The end of that combination, that uppercut, again, it's a stay away from me punch. You knew you weren't landing that punch, but you still got to throw it. Fill that space. Again, Lomachenko sees this. He's like the Terminator. He's just going to keep coming and coming and coming, right? More of that, right? Double it up, triple it up. Jab behind jab behind jab behind jab. As much as you need to. Again, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be extraordinarily creative at this point. Be effective. What a shot, though. Oh, my goodness. I want to see that body shot again. Ortiz's game to the end. I love that. I love that. It's been a good fight. It's been a good fight. Lomachenko's coming for it. He's coming for it again. He's coming for it again. And it's like he figured out kind of early on, like, look, all right, out of my whole tool bag, I only need X, Y, Z to beat this guy. You know what I mean? Again, he's not showing, I've seen, there's way more to Lomachenko's game than this, right? Ones and twos. When he gets in close, he'll let his hands go a little bit. He'll lead in with that uppercut. He'll gain position, and then he'll start throwing body shots. But again, like, look, this is why the fundamentals are so important, right? If you have a good stance and you have good footwork, you don't need a lot more than to move in and out. 1-1-2, in and out, 1-2, in and out, 1-1-2, 1-2, bring more, right? I mean, it's simple, but it's masterful, right? It's the wisdom to know that you don't need more, right? Do what we're, all right, I want to see this body shot. We're going to show this body shot again. This body shot was outrageous. Oh, this isn't that. This is just, oh, so they just jumped right to it. I'm going to score that. You already know how that goes. At this point, Lomachenko's doing his thing, and Ortiz, he's getting whittled away. He's withering now a little bit. He's predictable. We know he's going to do his dancing a little bit. He's in the center of the ring right now, but what does he do? Throw your jab, throw your two. Right? He throws one jab, and then he gets removed from the center of the ring. You can't let that happen. One jab. See, good, right? You drive your opponent back. A rare time where Lomachenko actually steps straight back. But he moves in again, right? He's again, don't just take the center of the ring. Do something with it. See, look at that. Lomachenko's feeling it now. Oh, come on. That head. Again, it's like a recital. You know what I mean? This is like another day at the gym right now for Lomachenko. He's sparred harder than this, I promise you. Again, I don't mean to in any way insult Ortiz. He came to fight. He's a game fighter. But the cream rises to the top, right? As the fight goes on, the better fighter, especially if they're a high IQ fighter, they're going to find an effective way to beat you. And again, that's why it's like chess, right? Can you find a way to counter what he's doing? If not, then you're in a world of hurt. See, again, Ortiz, I like what he's doing. Take the center of the ring. Move your body, move your head, throw in a jab or two, right? He has it again, right? He let Lomachenko, Lomachenko's content circling outside, but again, a great fighter is content anywhere in the ring, right? It's like his house. But when Ortiz has the center of the ring, I just want to see a little bit more. Throw some punches, land some punches, hurt Lomachenko. Throw punches intended to hurt him, because again, a lot of these punches are stay away punches, stay busy punches. Not everything has to be full steam, but if you even think you're behind in the fight, fight like you're behind in the fight, right? The best and most fun to watch aggressive fighters, and this was a great fight, by the way. There's better. There's also much worse. But responsibly, I have to give it to Lomachenko. I just think he did more. He's a better fighter. I think he looks good. I think he looks good right now. I think they both looked good, honestly. I mean, Ortiz, I think he came to fight. I think he came to win. I don't think he came to lose. I don't think he came to pick up a check. I just think, his limitations showed when compared to a world-class pound-for-pound fighter like Lomachenko, right? Styles make fights. The Lopez fight's an interesting fight. We could do that fight one time. I should add that to the list. Every night this month, we're doing a fight, rewatching, scoring analysis. Also going to do the Garcia fight that's coming up. We're going to do the weigh-in. We may do the fight live. We'll see. I'll let you know. Other than that, yeah, that's what you can expect from this channel. Not a whole lot other than boxing, and more boxing. See you guys tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed it. Recommendations always welcome. This is going to roll on here, but I'm going to cut it short. That's it. Just some closing words on what just to finish what I was saying before. Great, exciting brawlers, pressure fighters, they will always fight like they're behind, right? If you even think you're behind, fight like you're behind. I don't know. That's just what I think makes sense, in any way that you can. And if you're in full survivor mode, then keep that boat afloat. But you never know, right? You miss 100% of shots you don't take. You never know when, your best punch is going to land, right? So, you're there for a reason, go for broke, right? That's it, it's wraps. We do our thing. Catch me on Boxing Scene as well. So, yeah, catch everyone tomorrow and have a good night.